Absolute movie scenes over here with the brand new Davidoff release Cool Elixir. It even says inside the tin, Beast Mode Elixir for men. So let's see if it does what it says on the tin, in the tin. First off, can we just look at this PR presentation? This is not the presentation that you would buy in stores. This was sent out for press, I think. This is a golden tin. It says Davidoff Cool Elixir on it. It's a film can for storing film in, traditional film, and there's even a film strip with black and white imagery to do with the release of this fragrance around the tin. I think this is going to be the best PR presentation that I've ever received. You open up the tin and the fragrance is just there on the inside, and it says a couple of things here to note. It says the new Oud treasure on top, and then underneath the bottle it says Beast Mode Elixir for men. This is the first time I've ever heard of a designer brand or I think any brand refer to their own fragrance in the marketing as a beast mode fragrance. That's quite a bold claim. We will find out if it is a beast mode fragrance, but let's just take a quick look at the bottle. I actually did purchase a smaller version of this bottle myself, and then of course the next day this PR package came, as is the way of things sometimes. It is a lovely bottle. It's the traditional cool water shape of bottle, although this one I would say is a little fatter than the other ones that I have. We have Davidoff Cool Elixir, not Cool Water Elixir, Cool Elixir on the front, which I think looks really nice on that dark blue, and then a gold cap. I think the cap is plastic, but overall the aesthetic of this bottle, it looks really cool and a little bit more elevated than other cool water Davidoff releases. The brand are calling this an aromatic oud treasure, and the notes in this, there are only 3 released, although there are obviously more than that, are rose or rose oxide, lavender and oud. Actually on the website they refer to it as oud accord, so it's perhaps not a real oud in this, it is an oud accord. That implies not real oud, which you do tend to find in design fragrances. I know a lot of Tom Ford fragrances have an oud accord rather than a real oud. The questions I'm going to throw out about this fragrance are, does it smell of those notes? And also, as the brand claim, is this a beast mode fragrance? Let's address the scent itself first of all. I'm just going to respray on my arm while I'm talking to you. I have been wearing this now for a few days. I've given it 4 or 5 wearings. When I first sprayed it on, I thought, oh yeah, I love that smell. It's a really nice smell. It doesn't smell too generic, although it does have more of a designer smell than a niche smell, particularly with that use of oud. And let's talk about the oud, because when you spray it, at no point during the life of this fragrance, in the opening, in the mid, in the dry down, am I really detecting oud. To me, oud can be this sort of clean medicinal oud, or maybe it can be a bit of a fruity style oud like Aaron Terrence uses, or maybe it can be a really pungent, potent, fecal, barnyardy, oudy type of smell. I don't get any of those types of oud in this fragrance. So if you're worried about oud as a note, if it's a little bit too strong for you, you definitely do not need to worry about the oud in this fragrance. They are leaning into it quite a lot by calling it an oud treasure, which is, for me, a little strange, with the oud not being a prominent note, and it's not really oud. I don't think it's an oud accord, so is it really treasure? Anyway, perhaps this oud accord is being used to create depth to the fragrance, because that is something that it definitely does have. It has a great depth. It's not just a light, thin, watery type of scent. Yeah, this does have some depth to it. And speaking of watery, I know this one technically isn't called Cool Water, even though it comes in the Cool Water style bottles, or a variation of that. There is a little bit of a watery, aquatic smell to it, although not as much as in some of the Cool Water fragrances. Let's talk about the other strange thing in the note breakdown, this use of rose or rose oxide. You would think, looking at the notes, we're going to get this traditional rose oud combo type of scent, which is quite a Middle Eastern sort of smell. It's a DNA that has been done a lot. It's a combo that is used a lot in perfumery, particularly niche perfumery. So to see that in a designer fragrance is quite interesting, but it doesn't smell like a rose oud combo, which I'm guessing for a lot of people is fine because maybe that's been overplayed a little bit, or maybe you're not into that rose oud sort of Middle Eastern type of smell. It doesn't smell like a rose oud scent to me. The one note that I do get quite a lot of in here is the lavender, and they do play into this aromatic nature of the fragrance in their marketing blurb. Definitely smells of this lovely aromatic lavender, which is lavandin that's been used. So you're going to get that sort of designery lavender sort of smell, which I think is really nice. What I get pairing with the lavender is what isn't in the note breakdown. It's all the things that I think have been used in this that aren't part of the official 3-note breakdown. And it's quite spicy. It's got a warm spiciness to it, maybe some cardamom in there. It has that pop that I would associate with cardamom fragrances. So the opening of this is beautiful because we do get that warm and fresh spicy pop all at once, and that seems to immediately combine with the lavender and a fragrance that also does that, which is also an elixir, which I think was the first elixir that started off this current trend of elixir fragrances, is Sauvage Elixir. It's not a copy or a retread of Sauvage Elixir by any means. It just has similarities in terms of the spiciness mixed with the lavender. But also another little similarity with Sauvage Elixir is licorice. Licorice is not a note in here. It's probably not even in here. Maybe it's other things combining to create a licorice accord, but I definitely get a little bit of licorice, which is just another thing that does remind me a little bit of Sauvage Elixir. So it's a warm, spicy plus fresh spicy combination with lavender, and it's a great combination. This is a really good smelling fragrance. It doesn't smell like an elixir version of Cool Water. It doesn't smell like a flanker of Cool Water, but even some of the flankers of Cool Water don't really smell like the original Cool Water, but it definitely does not have that traditional Cool Water sort of DNA smell to it. And I guess that tracks because it isn't called Cool Water Elixir, it's just called Cool Elixir, and it is a pretty cool elixir. I decided to take this on a little test drive on a recent trip to London, and I got a few street opinions on what this smells like. I just met Abby tonight in the pub. Come on, Abby.
Come in.
And as Abby walked into the pub, she said, "Oh, what are you wearing? Did you enjoy?"
I loved
it's
it.
on my hand here. Are you enjoying it?
I loved it. It just smells fresh and clean,
Yeah.
and like a little, I don't know, just musky.
Out of 10, what are you thinking?
9.
A 9 out
Yeah,
of 10.
a 9. I loved it. The moment I smelled him, I just knew something just, oh.
Moa, what do you think of this fragrance?
I like it. Why does it smell like a NUIT? Kind of green, but it's fresh too.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
This is-
Amanda.
On a man, yeah. So this is the new Davidoff Cool Elixir, brand new fragrance. Out of 10, what would you give?
7.5.
7.5. Thank you. Victoria, would you smell the new Cool Elixir?
Yep.
Let me know what you think.
For some reason, I get something that smells like patchouli in here as well.
Okay.
So it's like green patchouli, spicy, a bit fresh. To be honest, this would be like an 8.5.
8.5.
That's very close, Chris.
No, it's not. It's far away. It's a
Okay.
nice mid shot.
Yeah.
We're there
Yeah.
to there. What do you think of the new fragrance on my hand?
Actually, I told you, I saw it smell a bit like a nice Parfum de Marly or something. Actually, I'm very impressed. I would never say it's a Davidoff. I really like it. I think it's quite sexy. And I like the original, but it's a little bit, like for every day, like it's done and redone. This is actually has some depth, some layer. It's nice.
Yeah. And the original maybe a little bit dated as well.
It's
but-
dated,
yeah.
but I'm not angry about it. I kind of still like it for some reason. I think it's alright. But this they made a nice move, I think.
I agree. Out of 10. Out of 10, what would you give?
I'm difficult, you know that. I would say, Ali, if I put it in its category, not niche fragrance, I would put a 8.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm feeling pretty positive about this fragrance, and you could see the ladies in the video are feeling positive about the scent. It is a very likable fragrance. Yes, it is a designer fragrance. It has that designer-ish sort of smell in that it has mass appeal and it's designed to be crowd pleasing. This is not a fragrance that is designed to be creative or that artistic. It's a really well done fragrance that is designed to be enjoyed by a lot of people. It isn't boring and generic, but it's not a creative, risk-taking game changer. Kind of somewhere in the middle. As I mentioned, does have a few similarities to Sauvage Elixir, although it's not as strong, doesn't have that slightly abrasive quality that Sauvage Elixir has, which means that you can overspray Sauvage Elixir, because if you put too many sprays on, it would become a little bit too obnoxious. It would fill a room. That is a huge beast mode fragrance. I don't think you can really overspray this one, partly because the performance isn't the same as Sauvage Elixir. It's not as big, it's not as strong, it doesn't project as much, it's not quite as long lasting, but it does mean you can spray it on till your heart's content and you're probably not going to offend anybody. The smell of it does remind me of other things. I feel like I'm making some connections of things I've smelled in the past, although nothing I can just quite put my finger on. So not generic, but there are similarities to the smell. It's not that new and that different a smell that you won't feel you've smelled slightly similar things. But familiarity isn't a bad thing. As humans, we like familiarity. We find comfort and security in that. And as long as it's not out and out copying other things. But if you're looking for something outrageously new and different and unique, probably not going to find that with this. Let's do a bit of the fragment on this then. So I mentioned the performance. It's not as strong as Sauvage Elixir. It's not a beast mode fragrance, I gotta say that. In my wearing of this, I sprayed quite a lot on clothes, quite a lot on skin, and it didn't feel like it was this muscular, robust scent that I would associate with a beast mode fragrance. But it's not a weak fragrance at all. It's even more than mid, actually. I would say it's relatively strong, but I wouldn't push it into beast mode territory. But decent performance. I also think this is a very versatile fragrance. If this really had a lot of oud in here, if it was a heavy, dark, oudy scent, I might say that you could be slightly limited on when you could wear this, but this is the sort of smell that is very versatile. It's aromatic, it's fresh, spicy, it's bright, it does have some depth to it. I could wear this any temperature, any time of year, autumn, summer, winter, whatever. And it's also going to work for a lot of occasions because it's pleasant enough to just wear casually, but then there's enough to it, there's enough going on, there's enough depth to the fragrance that you could wear it formally, or it does have a sensual nature, so you could easily wear this on a date night. So a really very versatile release. And in terms of age, again, I think versatile in terms of age. I think an older person could wear this. I think a younger person could wear this easily. So I don't think you have to worry about what age you are to enjoy this fragrance. This is a release marketed towards men, and I do think it definitely leans masculine with that aromatic lavender and the spices in there. It just has a smell that I would associate more with masculine fragrances. But I think so many women out there could easily wear this fragrance, absolutely no problem. Good presentation, good smell, very versatile fragrance. Is it worthy of the Elixir name? Well, how do we know what's worthy of the Elixir name? Because Elixir is just a name that is slapped on a bottle. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't refer to a concentration. It's just a marketing trend. So I am absolutely fine with this having Elixir on the bottle. If you're interested in trying this one out, it's pretty much widely available everywhere. I got mine off Amazon, but I think it's available in pretty much all high street stores that sell fragrances. So you do have a good opportunity to go out and give this a smell. What I would recommend is if you can just go into a store, spray it on your skin, go out for an hour, have a coffee, whatever, see how it works off you, and if you like it, you know what to do. That's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. If you did, please drop a like, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and if you do all that, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.